Hey everyone! I'm really excited to share some unexpected good news with you today that might just put a smile on your face and potentially some extra money in your pocket. You know how we all love discovering forgotten money or unclaimed funds? Well, this is even better. The IRS is currently distributing stimulus payments to roughly 1 million Americans who missed out on their 2021 economic impact payments. Yes, you heard that right. Even in 2025, some people are just now receiving these long-awaited funds. I know what you're thinking, wait, aren't stimulus payments old news? And you're right, they typically are. But here's where things get interesting. The IRS recently discovered that a significant number of eligible Americans either didn't claim their recovery rebate credit on their 2021 tax returns or made mistakes when filling out that section. Instead of leaving it up to individuals to figure out and file amended returns, they've decided to take matters into their own hands and issue these payments automatically. That's some surprisingly good customer service from our friends at the IRS, wouldn't you say? Let's dive deeper into what's actually happening here, because I know many of you are probably wondering if you might be one of the lucky recipients. These payments, officially known as the Recovery Rebate Credit, are essentially the government's way of ensuring that everyone who is entitled to the 2021 economic impact payments actually receives them. Think of it as the IRS doing a massive double check of their records and saying, hey, we missed some people and we need to make this right. Now, you might be wondering about the timing of all this. Why is the IRS sending these payments now, years after the fact? Well, it's actually a pretty interesting story. During a recent comprehensive review of tax returns from 2021, they identified a pattern where many taxpayers had either left the Recovery Rebate Credit section blank or had it incorrectly marked as 0. Instead of requiring everyone to go through the complicated process of filing amended returns, IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel and his team made the decision to streamline the process and issue these payments automatically. Speaking of the payments themselves, let's talk numbers, because I know that's what everyone's really interested in. The maximum amount you could receive is $1,400, which is not exactly pocket change in today's economy. However, and this is important to note, the actual amount you might receive could vary significantly based on your personal circumstances and eligibility criteria from 2021. Factors like your income level, filing status, and whether you received any portion of the stimulus payment previously all play a role in determining the final amount. Here's something particularly exciting about these payments. They're already rolling out. The IRS began distributing them in December, and the majority should be delivered by the end of this month. They're using two primary methods of distribution: direct deposit for those who have their banking information on file with the IRS, and good old-fashioned paper checks for everyone else. So if you've noticed any mysterious letters from the IRS recently that say not a bill or important information, don't toss them aside thinking they're just more junk mail. They could be your notification about this payment. Let's talk about eligibility for a moment, because I know this is probably the question foremost in many of your minds. The good news is that you don't need to do anything if you filed your 2021 tax return and either left the Recovery Rebate Credit section blank or filled it out incorrectly. The IRS is handling everything automatically in these cases. However, if you didn't file a 2021 tax return at all, don't worry, you haven't completely missed the boat. You still have until April 15th of this year to file and claim the Recovery Rebate Credit. This is particularly important for people who had minimal or no income in 2021 and thought they didn't need to file. You could still be eligible for this payment. Now, let's discuss something that I think is really important: what to do if you receive one of these payments. While it might be tempting to splurge on something fun, and hey, no judgment here, we all need a little joy in our lives, this could be a great opportunity to make some smart financial moves. Maybe you've got some lingering credit card debt from the holidays that's been weighing on your mind, or perhaps your emergency fund could use a boost. Some of you might be thinking about catching up on utility bills, or finally getting that car repair you've been putting off. This is where I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What would you do with an unexpected $1,400? Would you put it toward practical needs, use it to build your financial security, or perhaps a combination of both? There's no right or wrong answer here. Everyone's financial situation is unique, and what makes sense for one person might not work for another. But sharing our thoughts and plans can help others think through their own financial decisions. Let's also talk about the broader impact of these payments. While 1 million Americans might seem like a small percentage of the population, we're potentially looking at over $1 billion being injected into the economy. That's significant, especially considering many families are still dealing with the effects of inflation and rising living costs. For some recipients, this payment could mean the difference between making rent or not, or finally being able to catch up on overdue bills. I think it's worth noting how unprecedented this kind of automatic correction is from the IRS. Typically, if you make a mistake on your tax return or misclaiming a credit, the onus is on you to file an amendment and correct it. The fact that they're proactively fixing this issue and issuing payments automatically shows a shift toward a more taxpayer-friendly approach. It's a reminder that even large government institutions can adapt and find ways to better serve the public. For those of you who are eagerly checking your mail or bank accounts after hearing this news, remember that patience is key. While the IRS is working to distribute these payments as quickly as possible, the process of verifying and issuing payments to nearly 1 million people takes time. If you believe you're eligible but haven't received anything yet, keep an eye on both your mail and your bank account. The IRS is sending notification letters to recipients, so that's often the first sign that a payment is on its way. Here's another important tip. If you do receive a payment, make sure to keep the notification letter from the IRS in a safe place with your tax records. This documentation could be important when you file your taxes for the current year, and it's always good practice to keep records of any unexpected payments from the government. For those who need to file a 2021 tax return to claim this credit, don't let the process intimidate you. There are numerous free tax preparation services available, including the IRS Free File Program and Volunteer Income Tax Assistance (VITA) programs. The key is not to wait until the last minute. April 15 might seem far away, but tax season has a way of sneaking up on us. I want to wrap this up by emphasizing something important. This isn't just about getting free money from the government. These are payments that were already designated for eligible Americans during a challenging time in our nation's history. If you're eligible, this is money you were meant to receive, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with claiming what you're entitled to. Before I sign off, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have any of you already received one of these payments? Are you expecting one? Do you have questions about the process? Let's create a helpful discussion where we can share experiences and information. Remember, while I can provide general information, for specific questions about your personal situation, it's always best to consult with a tax professional or contact the IRS directly. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And more importantly, it helps get this important information to others who might benefit from it. I'll catch you all in the next one, where we'll continue exploring topics that can help you make the most of your money and navigate the sometimes confusing world of personal finance. Stay awesome, everyone.